Just a couple of short days ago, I brought you guys some information that was kind of being played up as being maybe a bit more concerning than it should have been, but something I could kind of understand why some people would maybe be a little bit bummed out to see. The fact that the original Pixel Fold had seemingly exited the Google store as the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, the newer version of the Pixel Fold, basically was coming in. The old Pixel Fold was going away. If I jump over to the Google store, I can demonstrate this. Pixel 9 Pro Fold right there. If we come down to Pixel Fold, it shows no longer available. Now, I said that it was maybe being blown up a bit more than it should have been because the reality is, if you go look up the Z Fold 5 on Samsung store, it's not readily available either. I think there were a handful of units left under the AT&T banner, but as far as like Samsung's stock themselves, it's not like they keep it around either. You know, when the new Z Fold comes out, they move on to that one. So I wasn't super concerned about this because it seemed relatively normal, right? In particular, when you're dealing with a Pixel Fold to Pixel Fold 2 that is as big of a leap as we're seeing, right? It's 4 more gigs of RAM, but it's 2 generations newer in terms of the processor, and it is also an entirely new form factor, an entirely new aspect ratio, and I think that it represents a shift in the philosophical approach, you could say, of the Pixel Fold. But I do want to give you a quick update here. This is an article on Android Central that reads, headline, "You can't buy the original Pixel Fold right now from Google, but Google says it'll return." And basically the only bit of this that is important is if you scroll down to right about here, Google says that the original Pixel Fold will return to the online store after the Pixel 9 Pro Fold goes public. So, it seems to me as though this is nothing more than a strategy to sort of funnel people towards the new Pixel Fold, and you could say maybe that's a bit shady, but you could also say, well, maybe someone going to buy the Pixel Fold, maybe you don't want to confuse them with a Pixel Fold and a Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and which one's the new one and which one's the old one. They're the same price, presumably, because they didn't actually say here if it was going to return at a discount or not. Man, you would really hope that it would, but yeah, that would be a little bit confusing. And maybe if the first one was discounted, people are going to go to that one, and maybe they should be going to the newer one. I don't know. So I can kind of understand why they would remove it temporarily, but it is interesting to me that they're planning on bringing it back and actually putting it back up for sale in the store, hopefully at a reduced price. Now, I did mention in that video that the Pixel Fold is going to continue getting Android version updates all the way through June of 2026. So we have 2 more years left of version updates, and then we have an additional 2 years of security updates. Now, this does not guarantee features, right? This is one of these things that gets confusing for a lot of people. Google announces lots and lots of features. The Pixel 9 series of phones, I feel like they announced 37 new features, and are those going to come back to the Pixel Fold and the Pixel 7 devices running the Tensor G2 with 12 gigs of RAM in the case of the Pixel Fold instead of the 16 that the Pixel 9 Pro Fold has? This is something we're absolutely going to have to monitor, and while I think it was definitely concerning to see the Pixel Fold be quote-unquote discontinued, having it be back in the store might make people feel a little bit better about the longevity of that device. But for me, I think it really doesn't change anything. I am still in about the same place in terms of my expectations for these features coming back. Personally, things like Best Take, things like Add Me, I don't know that we're ever going to see those on the original Pixel Fold. I do have a sneaking suspicion that Google is onto this new thing and that it is such a radical change from Fold 1 to Fold 2 that there is a better chance than I would have ever hoped that the original Fold might get forgotten about just a little bit more than it should. Now, don't get me wrong. It's still going to get new versions of Android right alongside the others. It's going to be right there with everybody else. It's going to continue to get new features, but will it get all of the new features from the newest phones? That is something that I think we should all be highly skeptical of. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content just like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.